Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So I'm not sure why my background is black at this point. Let me know if there's any problems, but for some reason it's black. Not the usual wallpaper I want up there. I pushed it, so it should be on there. It's not. But I'm not. That's as long as you're hearing me, and as long as you're seeing what I am wanting to show you, I think we're going to be completely fine. But let's go ahead. We're going to talk about those midterms once again. 2025 is a non-election year. We have specific elections in Wisconsin, Virginia, New Jersey, and maybe Pennsylvania, depending if it's a retention or actually a actual candidate Supreme Court race where we get to choose the candidate with not presidential nominations. Just party nominations, excuse me. So we'll have to see. But the biggest indicator of how our party is going to go forward is not with the 2025 elections. They are important. We should continue to stay informed with those elections. I'm making those posts every single day. Well, actually every week I do. Since there's only a few races, I do them every week. But right now it's seeming pretty good for Democrats, although their party is in shambles. We're gonna have to see if that I don't know. Like, I'm guessing these Democrats, their name recognition, that's why they're doing so well. But we're going to have to see in the general election because they could just be wrong. So let's go ahead and get started. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the midterms, the best case scenario for Republicans. Although Democrats are basically holding a funeral for themselves. They're just imploding in disaster. They keep making these stupid moves like impeaching Donald Trump, going against Trump and his nominees, protesting against Elon Musk, even though Elon Musk is practically a person who brought Donald Trump swiftly to victory with recognition. They go against RFK Jr., part of the Kennedy family, which everyone admires. RFK Jr. has turned, apparently, in the left's mind. It's no longer their family anymore. You have, of course, Tulsi Gabbard. They treat her like junk. You have, of course, Lindy Lee, now a staunch right-wing conservative activist, a woman credited to raising millions for the Kamala Harris campaign, now shifting far to the right. And now you have, of course, the new DNC chair leadership, David Hogg and Mr. Kenyatta, who are young, immature people that do not know. They think it's about race and color and creed and gender. And then you have the woke chairman, Ken Martin from Minnesota. People couldn't stand Tim Walz. They won't stand Ken Martin for sure. So obviously it's not looking so good. But Republicans ought to be kind of concerned about the midterms. Why? Well, let's keep in mind, Republicans are the majority, right? They are the majority. They control everything. But the majority of Americans believe in a balanced government, meaning that Democrats control something, Republicans control the other. That's balanced government. And therefore, because of these elections, there could be a conflict of interest. Examples? Well, you could go ahead and take a look at the election of 2004. 2004 United States elections. All right, so you'll see Republicans won the presidential election. They got George W. Bush reelected president. Republicans also had the House. It said hold in the House and hold in the Senate. So that was pretty good. But what about 2006? Now, Bush was pretty unpopular. You'll see Democrats gained the House and the Senate pretty overwhelmingly, but I would say that would happen regardless. The net worth was pretty big, though, and that was probably because of Bush's unpopularity, specifically in the Iraq War. You jump to 2008, okay? Democrats hold a trifecta. They have the presidency. But things quickly change around the other directions because people believe in transparency. Republicans gain the House of Representatives. Republicans gained by a plus 63 net worth. The Republicans came out and voted. So we're seeing a lot of movement when it comes to the left. Not surprised. The progressive populist left against Donald Trump. We've seen this with the pro-Palestine movement. We've seen this against the I will call it the ILM, Illegal Lives Matter protest. So you could say this is an indicator of that, but I have a feeling it's not going to be the same like we've seen in 2010. Well, 2014 is more realistic. Republicans actually held a trifecta. Well, in the legislative branch. But 2018 is the reverse effect. Democrats, although Republicans kept the Senate, Democrats flipped the House by a net worth of by 41 plus 41 seats of a margin. To the 2022, you will see it's changing. You'll see there's mixed results. So we're seeing more mixed results, if you will. And I have a feeling that it's going to be the same deal. It's going to be mixed results. It's going to be a Democrat version of 2022. Democrats are going to be on the pressure because they're in the situation that we were in 2022. We had the ambitions of winning in 2024, getting Donald Trump back in the White House, but we had to see how the American people approved of the Republican Party. And we were hoping that with the administration of Joe Biden, very unpopular, that, Americans would turn overwhelmingly for the Republicans. But unfortunately, it didn't. Many Americans were frustrated with the GOP's efforts to overturn Roe v. Wade with the Supreme Court. They felt that the Supreme Court was too partisan, yada, yada, yada. So ultimately, and then there was the 2023 elections. A lot of people said, oh, that didn't play a part, but it kind of did. That was kind of Republicans' last chance to make some of that victory, the losses they made up in the midterms, up. But that wasn't the case. But you'll see Republicans, it's going to be divided again. And the question is, there will be no such case of a Democrat trifecta. So if you guys think Democrats are going to take the Senate and the House, I know a majority of Democrats think they will. They got to look at the map and they got to use math because there's no pathway to victory for Democrats in this said scenario. Take a look, if you will. This is the holds and the flips. So you got Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey even, I'll consider not a compatible race this time, even though New Jersey has become somewhat of a swing state. West Virginia is blue. So this is what it's looking like. North Carolina, New Hampshire, and Maine are so far the toss-ups. Georgia is a toss-up. But these are the battleground states, if you will. And just looking at the battleground states, you'll see adding the solid states, with the states we know, the senators from these states that we know will win re-election pretty easily. If not by just a little bit, they will still win. Republicans already gained the Senate, period. This is the map currently what's looked like right now. Republicans crossing the line with 51 votes. In no way, in no scenario will the Democrats win the Senate. Now, what about Joni Ernst? Joni Ernst is so unpopular. Oh, well, okay, let's say Joni Ernst seat. Okay, then supposedly have a 50-50 seat, a 50-50 split in the Senate. But here's the deal. Republicans still win because J.D. Vance's vote will split the Senate. It would be very close, and it would be humiliating because Republicans, their goal is to expand. They need to expand the Senate. In case, Democrats do win the House of Representatives. Yes, they go and impeach him, which they possibly could if they do win the House, and that's why we need to win it, guys. I'm serious, but they can't remove him because they don't have the Senate votes to do so. So that hasn't happened in American history before. I think 2 impeachments are enough, in my opinion. So I would love to have the House for another year. I think, God willing, let us have the House. I think President Trump, he's already doing so much for us, and it seems like we have Democrat shenanigans that obviously cannot handle themselves and their hatred for this one man, and they are set to destroy his life. So obviously, this is what it's looking like right now. Republican best performance would be Republicans would carry every swing state. They flip Michigan. They flip Georgia. Somehow we help Tom Tillis, who is actually coming really, I think he's doing a good job. We know why Tom Tillis is suddenly being very quiet, because with the could Tom tell us? No one could stand him. This guy was meeting with gun control politicians. He marched with the BLM. And we know why he was doing that. He thought the tide was in the left's favor. And I had breaking news. He woke up and he said, actually, it's in our favor. And now he's going around saying how good he stands with Laken Riley and how bad illegal immigrants are and why we need to deport all of them. He's trying to keep his Senate seat. That's what he's trying to do. I'm saying, is that a good thing to do? I think it's a smart thing to do, but it depends. We got to see how his polling does, because it's easy for someone like Roy Cooper to go in there and screw everything up. We cannot let that happen. If Roy Cooper wins, then we're back to where we began. So best performance for Republicans. We flip Georgia, we flip Michigan, and we flip New Hampshire. That would be a 3 Senate seat net worth gain. And that would be a 56 majority in the Senate. Now, obviously, with 44 seats, including the Bernie Sanders and Angus King seats, eliminate Sanders, they would have 42 seats. 42 Democrats, 2 independents, and 56 Republicans. You have to keep your eyes weary too. You have Susan Collins in Maine, who is also being very difficult. But obviously, this is what I think the map would look like if it's the best performance. Some said. I think if you throw Chris Sununu in there, I'm urging Chris Sununu to run. People are tired of Jeanne Shaheen. People like Jeanne Shaheen, but I can tell her she's old, and people love Sununu. So I want, please, Chris, don't. And although you came out against Trump, sure, but you got to use your politicians, use your cards at the right time. We can't just throw Chris Sununu into the garbage because he opposes Trump so much. I would say he's a TDS. I think he's one of those politicians that wants Trump to move on, to Republicans just to move on from Trump. But unfortunately, his party is not in support of that. So I think, we'll use Chris Sununu in efforts to take a Senate seat. And hopefully he'll be loyal to Trump. Hopefully he'll be smart. And he'll have to be somewhat of a rhino. He was pretty conservative in New Hampshire, but we'll have to see. I would like to have Chris Sununu, other than Mr. Brown, former U.S. Senator Brown, in that Senate seat. Brown's strong, yes, but we know Sununu is stronger. So we have chances in flipping New Hampshire, but we're going to have to see. 56 majority would mean if we lose the House, okay, scenario, we lose the House, we expand to a 56 majority, flip 3 Senate seats. Guess what? We had a good year. We aren't going to lower our heads. Guys, we have to expectationally, party in office usually does bad in midterms, okay? But it looks like, with the map, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. What we're seeing right now is possible. We have an opportunity of picking up 3 Senate seats, ousting 2 senators, Ossoff and Shaheen. I'm hoping that will be done, but we're going to have to see. All right, so that was the Senate. Let's take a look at the House of Representatives then. The House of Representatives is complicated, and Republicans have an overwhelming chance of losing it. Why am I so pessimistic with the House of Representatives? I think it was a miracle how we won the House of Representatives this year. I'm like, why? How did we win this House of Representatives race? Trump is the reason why. Trump helped bring voters across the edge. But now it's a little different. What can Republicans do? What's a best Republican performance? Obviously, this would be a Republican victory scenario in the House. This is what I think the best GOP performance in the House of Representatives would be. Republicans, if we need Dan Golden to run for governor, guys. If Dan Golden runs for governor, good news. We have a new congressman. Now Maine 2nd starts to be more Republican, and I think ideally it would go to Republicans. People like Dan Golden. I think Golden would have lost his seat regardless, but I think we win at much bigger margin, Maine 2nd, if Golden disappeared and ran for that Senate that governor seat. But either way, I think Republicans would win it, even if Golden stayed in that district. That's why I think Golden sees the writing on the wall. He barely won in 2024 in the House of Representative races, and he's saying, okay, there's a good chance that I'm going to lose this seat. This seat is a seat that voted for Trump by almost double digits, 3 times in a row. This is a red district. I'm going to have to figure out my future, and honestly, that's a smart thing to do for him. And obviously, running for Senate, running for governor, if you will, would be, and we say governor. Senate would also be difficult for him, but if Golden runs for governor, he has a 90% chance of winning that race. While running for senator would mean that he would have to bash heads with the conflict of interest with Susan Collins. But take a look here. Maine. Why am I back at the Senate race? This is ridiculous. We need House of Representatives. So, best performance for Republicans. Let's see. New Hampshire. Let's go ahead. Yeah, George. This is the special election races. We want closest races and actually determine. So, California 13. We could possibly flip that back. That's right here. We lost that seat. We thought we could pick it up, but we lost it. I think we could pick that up with if we get those Californians coming out at backlash against Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom can't run for re-election, but I'm just hoping someone really bad runs for governor. I'm hoping it will be a red wave in opposition on demands for change. So, District 13 of California, it's a Democrat flip. Trump district, I want to believe, Adam Gray, we could kick him out. It's a possibility. And we're going to have a hard time winning Iowa 1 because Iowa 1 almost went to the Democrat in that race, and that Democrat had a good chance of winning. But ultimately, Iowa's first congressional district, held by Marionette Miller Meeks. I think she needs to retire. We need someone else who's a much bigger Republican. You see, we have so many Democrat counties. Well, let's see if there's any sort of Democrat county. We can even see how they voted. Let's see. Taking out this. We want Iowa. Okay, so Iowa, they don't have a county map. Shoot. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you'll see. Look, Scott County even voted against. And Scott County voted Republican all the way through until now in this House of Representatives election. You also have this county down below. And yeah, it's just the colleges in Johnson County. 2022, you'll see a similar result. Actually, yeah, Scott and this county right here stayed loyal. Christina Bohannon. I think Bohannon ran in 2024, was the nominee. Yes, she was. 2026 will be a question for her, but she was gaining ground that district. So I think that's a district that could possibly flip. Please forbid not, obviously, to Democrats, because that will definitely affect the outcome of the House races. California 45. We could win this race if we really get those Hispanics out. It does depend if the mass deportation rhetoric that the Democrats are using is going to work. I still believe most Hispanics support mass deportations. Ohio 9. The coast, I do think it's going. The Toledo coast is definitely going right. And I do think it will possibly go red this direction. But, yep. Obviously, yes. It used to be pretty blue. I think the only county is Logan County, which holds Toledo, which is interesting. Maine second, we have established that would go red. Let's just talk about North Carolina's first. North Carolina's first, it went from a pretty big Democrat county until border changes was established. But I do think that the people there really like their congressman. It really does depend. It is a district of interest. But take a look here. North Carolina. Okay, so this is the county results. First district, yeah, you'll clearly see most African American, but they're less darker. You're actually having counties down here, and the goal is having like Lenore County going more red. Have probably Pishtanack, whatever county it's called. It's a toss-up mainly. Have this county right here go red. It's just we have to count these African American votes. It's a big African American county, not as African American as it used to be due to border changes, which obviously resulted to better inroads for the Republicans. But I do think it could be a possible pickup. Like maybe it really does depend on Don Davis. I do think he could possibly win re-election. I don't really know, but. Ohio 13. Yeah, this district right here, that's in Akron. It's a Kamala Harris district. 2.21. It's going to be hard to call the flip. And really, I think you only flip 3 districts. California. It's actually flipped for 4 districts. And does this increase our majority for the speakership? For the House control? I do think New York 4 will go. Maybe New York 3. Now that it's possible. You could say that district in Ohio could go also. New York 19. It's difficult because you have Tompkins County with the university there. It's just trying to connect with those rural voters over here. That's going to make it difficult. I'm worried about this county also. I have a feeling that's going to go for Dems. I think it already went to Dems. I'm not too sure. New York 19. New York 4th. Alaska at large. I think Republicans will win that pretty easily. Texas 34. I think we could pick up Texas 34. I mean, if they really like that guy, we could say it goes. Virginia 7th. Could win that. Wisconsin, California 27. Obviously, this is the best case scenario. We've established that. Oregon, Democrats, we flipped it, but we took it back before. I think we should take it back, put it back into play. Washington 3, I think we could win there. Flip her out, take her out. California, that's a part of moderate Orange County. District 7, we got that. District 34, Alaska, yeah, we got Arizona 19. Oregon 5th, we got that. Nevada 3rd district. And Trump won that district, actually. I think it's possible we can aim to flip it. It would be good if we did. California 47th. So we have a lot of options we could go for. We got California 47th. New York 3rd. Let's see, New York 3rd. And honestly, this isn't obviously going to be the result. I doubt that. Democrats would probably gain seats. Swazi, it was a close one. Lee Pritri did pretty well. We want closest results. But yeah, that's a seat that it's a part of Nassau, which has gone more right. It depends if we get this anti-Kathy Hochul movement. I think the anti-Kathy Hochul movement would really will probably benefit us in getting seats in New York. Actually, getting a 4th, maybe the 3rd district, this district right here. So I'm positive, optimistic in New York, more than usual. California 9. Yeah, I think we could flip that area. It's a Hispanic area. If Hispanics that shift is continuing, which it looks like it is, we say we'll flip that area. Washington 3, we already said that would go. New York 2, I'm not so sure. California 49. Where is that? Right on that coast. I'm not sure about that either. That one in Loudoun, the one that holds Loudoun County, 23rd district. Okay, I think we're saying this is enough. But this is 17 seats being flipped. But this is what it's looking like. Actually, 18. But yes. Well, let's take a look at close races again. I want to see that New York. Let's start with New York 9. New York 9, that one right here. It's somewhat close. You could say Hispanics would put a dent in there. I think it's possible. The Hispanic community. Florida 23 could be possible. Virginia 10. It sounds crazy, but we could possibly pick up Loudoun County. Well, it's going more right. Well, actually, we'll just say it goes Democrat. We can say 23. Florida, Virginia 10. New York 9. I have a feeling that was just a one-time thing for Trump. Well, yeah, let's say New York 9 goes red in this scenario. California 49. I say it can go red. It's hard to say. It's a part of that area, that San Diego area. Obviously, the main deal is over here. I would say those suburbs. Depends really who's running. New Mexico I'm kind of having a hard time seeing that layout. While you have this county. Well, we'll see what happens in the future, but I think this is what it's looking like right now. Mexico 2, Washington 3. Okay, we got our seats. Okay, so Republicans, these are the current seats right now. Uncompatible seats. We just did the seats that we would probably flip. I'm curious about this seat. I thought we lost it. Let's take a look at New York. See what the results there. No, we did not lose it, but I have a feeling that we will. Miracle is we would keep it. But this is what it's looking like here. But yeah, we have also Pennsylvania. Those Pennsylvania seats. Yeah, Dauphin County is also a county of concern for me. We hold the seats in Pennsylvania. Our seats won previously. So it looks the same in Pennsylvania. You try to hold that New Jersey seat. I think it's going to go our way. Hopefully. Be surprised if it doesn't. But yes, you get those seats. Okay. Delaware. Maryland. Okay, so it looks like Democrats are leading. That won't be for long. Republicans will win the Senate in this scenario. And just 3 seats for Democrats in North Carolina. Okay. South Carolina. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Florida. Republicans now lead. Let's take a look at Florida. I want to make sure I'm getting the Florida maps correctly. Yep. I got them correct. But this is what it's looking like. 93. Oops. This is Republican. Pinillas. Got those seats here. Actually, I think we're going to go ahead and flip New Mexico red. Simply because I do think it's a possibility. Will not be ruled out. All right. I'm just saying it's not impossible, therefore we can add it in. That's seat there. Ohio, 123. So curious to see if that seat will go blue. I don't think it will go red. We also have to hold John James's seat. That's gonna be difficult. But we kind of need him to win the Senate, don't we? We could flip that. It just has Genesi. I think it's winnable, actually. All right. We have Wisconsin. Two seats there. Will they have Brandon Johnson out by the midterms? I am not so sure. He was elected 2023. I would think 2027 would be his re-election. If he gets that far, I don't think he will. I have very low confidence in him. But here is Mississippi, Louisiana. That's why Republicans need to make a challenge to the Supreme Courts of Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, saying, hey, look, Democrats, they're gerrymandering with race. They stole 2 districts from us. That should be solid Republican. And that would have really helped us out in this efforts to keep the House of Representatives. It's just frustrating that this is even a thing. But right now, Mississippi, Missouri, Iowa would go red with Mrs. Meeks, Miller Meeks somehow making it out. Minnesota will stay the same. This is pretty much what our map is going to look like for a very long time in Minnesota. North Dakota, South Dakota, no surprises. We somehow keep Don Bacon in power in 2nd District. I think his name is Don Bacon, but okay. Texas. All right. This one's going to be interesting. We could win this. Let's see how that district voted. Like, if the Hispanic votes in Texas is really shifting like everyone is telling us it is, then ideally we ought not have much problem. Okay, this is the results. Harris County. Okay. Okay, this is solid Republican, obviously. I just want that. Okay, this one. Okay. Henry Cuellar. How did he perform? 2022? I think it's possible. He's going down. I'll say we kick him out in a miracle situation. But I'm not so sure. You know, it's hard to do this without official nominees. This is the clown where he filed the impeachment from. This is his district. Unbelievable. Dallas, Jasmine Cratchit's district. I'm paying attention to their districts, as you can see. This is like a miracle situation. A big red wave, guys. Best case scenario, red wave in Texas. Red wave everywhere. Republicans pick up seats. Net worth of 22 so far. That would be amazing. To have a net worth of 22 seats. But of course, that is compared to the Democrats taking seats also. We also forgot to give El Paso the Democrats. And pretty much Republicans have won the Senate. 218 in Idaho. Utah is pretty easy. We keep that. This seat's going to be pretty compatible. So is that Maricopa County area. This is like suburban Maricopa County. Here. Take a look at Arizona. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, but yeah, scenario. Yeah, we'll win in that suburb pretty easily. It's pretty conservative. But this is Arizona. California, you could say, oh, it changes a lot. Well, we'll see. Let's see how the scenarios go. California map. Three-seat gain, and I think it's not going to last long. This is the county result. You see, tossed up here. There's Republicans are holding their seat, every seat. If we can hold every county in 2024, so many counties, guys, then we can hold seats. Like, hold all the 220 seats we have in the United States House of Representatives. We can do that. But okay, this is Los Angeles County. I'm hoping these suburban blue states, like seats in Illinois, the corruption there, California, along with New York, I'm hoping that a lot of that corruption resonates with voters, gets them out and motivated to be open-minded to vote Republican. Seriously, you want change? You've seen how bad your government is? Then vote different way. Democrats not an allegiance. It's not a country. You don't have an allegiance to it. But yeah, if the Democratic Party stays like this is not what it's. This is probably what it's going to look like. Republicans surging at mass. You also have, yes, Nevada should be easy to count. You got this seat's pretty much Democrat now. Let's go ahead and check Oregon. Yeah, it's that seat. We lost this seat. It's pretty much solid Democrat. Yeah, this is a close one. Even somewhat compatible. But I think it's pretty blue now. But yes, this is what the final verdict will look like. And our projection will be Republicans, 242 seats. Unless we are making final changes. Looking around the map, I don't think anything resonates that I would want to make a change on. I think we're good with that. Republicans, 242. Democrats, 163. So this is a bad case scenario for Democrats. Horrible. This is if their party is remaining like it is right now. Really bad. But this is pretty much the best case scenario. Net worth of 22 for Republicans. Let's take a look at gubernatorial races. Now, before we end this very long video, a lot of people are wondering, what about gubernatorial races? This is what it would look like. All right. In no scenario do I think we could pick up Maine. Okay? No scenario. So we'll just go ahead and say Maine is a hold, especially if Golden runs in that race. New Hampshire and Vermont, Republican holds. Massachusetts, hold for Democrats. Rhode Island is a hold. Connecticut is a hold. A lot of people, Republicans think, we could take out Kathy Hochul. I don't think it could happen. I'm going to say, as of right now, it's going to be a Democrat hold. But it would be extremely, recordly close and would serve pretty much a glass of wine of morale for Republicans in that state. If they had Kathy Hochul win just by 0 point some, that would be hilarious. Pennsylvania would be a Democrat hold. That race isn't really seen as compatible. Maryland is a hold. South Carolina, Georgia as a hold. Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio. Michigan, we flip Michigan. We flip Wisconsin. Those would be a flip in that role. Illinois, that would be a hold. Arkansas, Iowa, Minnesota will stay blue. I'm hoping, unless Tom Emmer runs or something like that. I know a lot of people don't like Tom Emmer. He's so unpopular, but I think he could win, especially against someone like Mr. Keith Ellison, Attorney General and socialist, and along with Peggy Flanagan. I think it's possible. And even Tim Walz, I do think beating Walz because he's become such a stigma in Minnesota lately. That is very possible. South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas will become a flip. Pretty likely flip, if you ask me. Again, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico would be a hold. Colorado would be a hold. Wyoming, Idaho, and with flip in Arizona. So we're making gains. 4 flips so far. California, we probably would win Nevada pretty easily. And Oregon would be a hold for Democrats. We got Hawaii and Alaska. So that's our 22 seats, 22 wins for Republicans, 14 wins for Democrats in the House. So what do you guys think in regards to this video and our midterm prediction? Best case scenario for Republicans? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.